Okay, I am restarting the recording. I think this is sort of working now. Wait. Your television does not support progressive scan. Your screen will go dark. Yes. No. Yes. I wish to play in progressive scan mode. There we go. Okay, I gotta fix this up. This is gonna look a little funky here. Switch that. Have to. Oh boy. Oh wait, that's the wrong. Everything got disconnected for a second when I got up. I don't even know what the hell happened. There it is. There we go. It is almost 1 a.m. for me right now, so we are getting a little late. 480p. Not bad. I have to re-8. Oh, shit. I should have left it there. Yeah, it works now, except I haven't used the retro tink in a minute, and when I don't use the retro tink for a while, all the settings get reset, which I did not account for. So it's sort of a pain in the ass, but I can deal with it. There we go. Okay. So. Primarily what I wanted to do with this version was I had worked for several hours to get enough stamina to climb the top of the tower. So we're going to do that. There's a couple extra things I wanted to take a look at. Let's just go ahead and load up the game. I've done it twice with this particular save file. I've climbed the tower once more before this. I've only ever done it 3 times in my life. So we'll hope that it works. But I haven't done it in a few weeks. So hopefully I remember kind of how it goes. There's a very particular feeling for it. This is an original PS2. What I'm doing is I'm playing off of a PS2. I'm feeding component cables, which allows me to play at progressive scan mode through a RetroTink 5X, which boosts the resolution 5 times through AI, which is then fed into an Elgato capture card, which I'm using to capture onto OBS here and then stream to Twitch. So there's a bit of a process to it, but it works and it looks slick. I did comparisons with mostly Devil May Cry and Sly 2, but I did comparisons with emulator versus RetroTink 5X. They are pretty damn comparable. And I would just much rather play physical versions of my games if at all possible. I do not really like messing with emulation that much. Sometimes it feels off. I think by this point, this save is like right after I beat the 15th Colossus. Might be because you haven't touched a PS2 in a while. So things sound a little slow there. I don't know if that's because something else is happening here or what. Look at that stamina meter. It is pretty freaking massive. Oh, that was the other thing I did. Oh, I forgot to transfer the eco save, I think. If you have a save file for eco on the same memory card, aggro's white little mark there on the forehead turns into the eco eye. Also doing time attack mode, I was able to finish all 16 of the Colossi on hard mode. So we have all the items and everything. There's also an option that you unlock to turn aggro brown. Does not make that much of a difference, but it's there. So it's one thing. I wanted to pop the eco save file, which I thought I copied over. I guess I didn't, but maybe that only registers maybe if you start up a new game. I'm not too sure. But having the eco save file on the same as a Shadow of the Colossus save file will change that little mark there. We take a look in the item section here. We got plenty of different things. I made plenty of references to stuff like the fruit tree map and the lizard detection stone when we were streaming the remake. Some of these other items do a bunch of shit, which I don't remember. Shaman's Cloak might. One of them like hides you. It's weird. There's like a difference between the items you unlock in normal time attack mode, and then there's a different set for hard. I don't know why, but Shaman's Cloak might either shield you from major damage or it hides you from the Colossus' sight for a short duration. Shaman's Mask might do one of those things. I don't remember. The Cloth of Desperation is the parachute. Queen Sword is the very powerful sword. Sword of the Sun will cast a beam of light in any situation, light or no. And then the Harpoon of Thunder I actually like quite a bit. I haven't really put it to use in any practical means, but I like harpooning fruit off of trees with it. It's fun. Apparently you can do it if you get all of the lizards in one run and you do at least 15 colossi. There are spots. There are some people that do it without, and it's using a glitch, but there are some people that do it without even getting any lizards. It's possible. I've seen it done. There's a very crusty video of a Japanese man doing it on YouTube. So it is possible. And he has a very low stamina meter. But there are people that could do it without even running through any of the colossi or getting any lizards. It's using exploits, but it works. So, but this is not the first playthrough, but the second. So I didn't even do 3, but I found most of the lizards. I hear that you can do it by getting, if you want to do it like legit, quote unquote, you could do it by getting every lizard, which is like 75 lizards, and then getting 15 of the 16 colossi if you want to do it during the first run. So there are methods of doing it, but it's a little tricky. And even with as much as I've done, which I've gotten a number of lizards, I don't think I've gotten them all, but a number of lizards, and then I did 16 Colossus in the original run plus an additional 15. I still need to use a bit of an exploit before I can actually get to the top, but I've done it with this specific save file, so it's possible with this one. One of the things I wanted to do was get to the Eco Beach so I could take a look at it a little bit closer. That is not it. Is that the path? Wait a second. No, that is the path. One thing I noticed in the remake was there was this little outlet that went down to this section here, which I didn't even know you could do. I don't think I've ever been down there in the original. But it looks like it's still there. I must have just kept passing it up. Yeah, right here. I never even knew this existed. Which, this doesn't lead to anything, like, super special, but you can at least get to a tree here. Just got a little bit of fruit. So many goddamn swords out now. Oh. Oh, that's what it was that I didn't like about the UI with this one, which they actually fixed with the PS3 HD edition. But the targeting marker is green, which messes you up in a couple different spots. They changed it to yellow, I think, in the HD version, which contrasts a lot better. There's a couple fruits here. Don't need them. They don't give me any boost, but I'll take them. Okay. So that's interesting. That was one of the things I just wanted to do personally, because I wasn't even aware that this was a spot you could actually go down. At least I don't remember it. If I've ever been here, it was during my very first playthrough and never again. This is all a little barren. There was at least a waterfall here in the remake. So they prettied it up a little bit, but otherwise not too much you could do down here. Ooh, there's the audio sounding crackly. That's weird. Is that normally how it's supposed to sound? Somehow I don't think it is. Kind of funny dropping off from the remake here. Whoa, look at that pop in. But just the expanse that you can see everything from, the draw distance that you get with the remake. Again, it kind of works in a detriment in a way, because it almost makes the game feel smaller. If you could see more, you could see the extent of how far it goes. And in that essence, it kind of makes things feel more enclosed. So that heavy fog and everything in the distance, especially when you're getting a good view from like a arena with a Colossus or something, it does kind of help to make the world feel a little bigger than it actually is. I believe we need to cross over here. We did this. Testing 1, 2. Okay, it was my fault. I was like, boy, I don't even remember this being an issue last time. I was thinking it was the PS2. It was actually my PC. For whatever reason, the audio just got cut out. So I should have looked at my PC first, but God damn it, that's my bad. I was like, I wouldn't put it past the PS2 having issues, but it normally doesn't, so I thought it was weird. But for whatever reason, like the USB hub sometimes gets a little finicky and it resets sometimes. So I think that's what happened, especially concerning the Revelator I have. The external compressor I use. That's where all the audio feeds through. So if that gets disconnected, then all audio gets cut. Pain in the ass is what it is, but what happens sometimes. All right, well, maybe we'll save the Eco Beach for later. I want to see if I can get up to the top of this tower. I'm putting it off for too long. I say though, that is a giant stamina meter. I've seen people do this when they say like you have the, allotted amount or whatever amount you're required to have in order to get up this thing. It always seems like it not bypasses, but it passes over the meter, the weapon icon, which this one definitely does. So. Okay, so to do this, we need to get over here. You can sort of give yourself a little bit of a boost by jumping off aggro onto it, but in my experience, it doesn't help too much. There is a section here that we have to kind of use an exploit on just to make things easier, so it's not even going to matter too much. Wonder if I should put the cloth on. If I can't do this without using the cloth, then I don't know if I could do it at all, so maybe we should just leave it. Anyway, this is the starting point. You can jump if you want. It doesn't necessarily expend too much more stamina than you'll already be using. In fact, at one point here, we're going to have to jump. But most people I see that jump are usually just trying to clear it faster. Doesn't really save you anything. I always find it easier doing it. Easier to get onto this point when I'm kind of at a diagonal angle facing it, like that. But he didn't do it. Still didn't do it. Nope, that ain't it. That was not it. Okay. It's been a few weeks since I've done this, so bear with me. I guess if I have the Cloth of Desperation, I can use it if I accidentally fall. But I think my HP bar is big enough where it's not going to cause me too many issues. So that's one of the things, is you need to like jump from kind of this point, like in here, to that little exterior spot. Like you could even do it like as early as here. I always found it was easier to do closer to the top, but again, I was always able to do it when he was sort of at an angle, which he only really gets to an angle if you give him a little bit of a lead in. I don't know. Maybe I should let him fall a little bit before I grab on again instead of just immediately holding it. Boy, if I can't do this, I'm not going to be able to do the next part. So the next part is the biggest pain in the ass. Okay. We got that. We need to come over here. It needs to be at an angle for this. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I need to keep the camera kind of trained. That was not it. Okay, so there's a ledge there. You need to be able to jump onto and then run on, which that's the hardest part. If you could do that and then jump off of that ledge that you're running on, then the rest of it's easy. But that's a little exploit where you give yourself a bit of a break to regain stamina. But there's actually two that people use when their stamina is too low to actually do this. The second one I can't do for the life of me. Yeah, that guy was probably doing it to the point where he could do it all in one go, which I think is the intention. I think that's the idea. Is you're supposed to have the stamina meter where it like fills up the entirety of the screen almost. But it's possible to do without it. As long as I can make it with that one rest point. Okay, so that's actually the ticket there. Is you have to actually not immediately hold, or not hold on to the grip button while you're making that jump. You need to let go a little bit. So I think once we clear this shrub, climb over here. And like I said, it needs to be at an angle. Okay, so this is the tricky part. You jump onto here, and he needs to be at an angle. He'll kind of automatically turn, so that part's not bad, but you need to start running. And you need to keep the camera angle here. Sometimes the camera whips behind him, jumping while the camera's behind him for whatever reason. I don't know what makes it tick, but for whatever reason, it doesn't work. So the camera needs to kind of be at this angle. So once you regain your stamina, start trying to jump. You can. Oh shit, I ruined it. So what I've seen people do when they have enough stamina is from this point, you can use the cloth of desperation. It's not it. And you can kind of guide yourself back to a fairly reasonable state. I forget even how to use this. You have to like keep deploying it to get any momentum. Let's see if we can do it this way. Actually, well, I don't even know if I can do it. When I got up here the last couple times I tried this, I had a little bit of stamina left over by the time I was able to get up to the top of it, but not much. I think I'm going to try jumping again. But yeah, you can sort of use the cloth of desperation, the parachute, to sort of guide yourself back there without losing too much progress. But it's still better if you could get all your stamina from this point. Let's try it from this camera angle. See if this works. It's a little bit more forward facing. Okay, so we got it. I just need him to jump. And this part is weird. It's like he doesn't, especially from like jumping at this point, he doesn't like jump normally. And sometimes he has to like regain his breath. It's weird stuff. Something odd about how the physics work. I've been able to get him, and he has to be like at a sprinting pace. Like, see how he's sort of trotting along right here? It doesn't work as well there. And I fell off again. Just keep tapping that grip button to get the cloth of desperation out. Keep tapping it and holding forward. You eventually get enough momentum to sort of push your way down there. We didn't lose that much progress. I'm wondering if I could do this without that recovery point, but I think I'm gonna give it another try. I could get there, and it's like I've done it from that point before, but for whatever reason, that jump is always hard to do, and I've never found a reasonable explanation, like a foolproof method to actually get you to jump off of this thing. I just know that if I turn the camera too far in the other direction, that it didn't work. And then he gets to this pace, and once he starts like doing that, then he doesn't jump anymore. And you could, the way I've been able to beat it out is get him to roll. If you get him to roll, he'll interrupt himself while still holding the run button. And he will get back into like that kind of sprinting posture. I don't know. I can't do it. We didn't lose that much progress like jumping down that way, so I'm wondering if we'll be able to do it. Like I said, I was cutting it pretty damn close. I got my hands on the controller now. I don't know if I can look that up right this second. Is it somebody? Is it the video with the guy with the full stamina meter? Okay, so we climb up this spot. There is a ledge up here. We gotta jump it. Problem with jumping this. Okay, there we go. Every jump attempt takes out a little bit of stamina. It's not great. They come across through here. Shimmying still takes out a bit of stamina, but not as much. Back. The second rest point is actually up there. And that is the one I've never been able to do. So there's another grip point here. From here on out, it's nothing but grip. Ever since that one rest point, if you can't make it to that second one, you just got to keep climbing. And it gets down to the nitty gritty. So, just trying to remember the path you need to take. Even coming this far, we ain't done. Okay, I forgot the path I needed to take, so I ended up using more stamina than necessary, so we're probably gonna fall. But this is, I mean, it's getting close. Once you get up to this pillar, there ain't a whole lot left. But I don't think I can make it. I think even using the Cloth of Desperation, it probably would be possible. It's just I wasted a little bit of stamina. Climbing where I didn't need to, and then jumping kind of where I didn't need to. So I'm going to try it with that rest point again, but knowing exactly where I need to go, I think I could probably do it this time. Take a look at this video. The other thing too that I see a lot is everyone that does this always does it on the HD edition or the remake. And I get the feeling like that is Slightly different than the PS2 version. You can't crouch up there. Oh, you're just talking about down here? I could have crouched, yeah, I guess, but I was looking at that video. That is the crusty video with the Japanese guy. That's the one I saw where the guy basically, he's got no stamina at all. Like he definitely hasn't run through the game once. Maybe he's beaten a couple Colossus, but not a lot. And he was able to do it by using those exploits. But he does the 2 rest point method. I can't do the second one. I've never been able to do it. I could do this one, but hopping off seems to be a problem for me. I don't know what the issue is. I did it twice a couple weeks ago. No problem, but this time, not able to do it. But let's see. I feel like the camera angle has something to do with it because, again, when I had the camera all the way at the back, that didn't work. Even the camera like slightly to the right from where it's positioned now, that might affect it somehow. I see when the guy does it from the video you linked, he does it with the camera like tilted all the way back. And for whatever reason, it just never worked for me there. There we go. Shoo, I did it. So I don't know. Camera might have something to do with it, because I did it with that angle, that very particular angle right there, where it's almost kind of like front facing forward. Not quite, but like almost. So that saves you a grip of stamina. And then that, I don't even drop or anything. I just like kind of push him sort of at the diagonal angle. And then he sort of just falls and drops on his own onto the ledge. So again, we drop back here. If you want to try the second stamina point, it's up there. You need to jump up and you need to like keep jumping. It's really weird and I've never been able to do it. Otherwise, drop down to the ledge. And just keep going. Instead of wasting the stamina going up, which you can't really go up, just kind of cut across through the side here. Shit. Oh, okay. I was at the wrong ledge. Or was I? Wait a second. Yeah, no, I think I was at the wrong ledge. Shit. I need to go higher up. Oh, no. All right, that's what it was. I thought I knew where I was going. All right, we need to restart. I didn't think that there was one down there. I was actually too low, so needed to climb up a little bit more. The problem was the first time around when I was trying it, I actually ended up going too high and needed to drop down. Go away, aggro. Down here. Actually, if this is... Okay, there we go. There's like grass over there. If you crouch on a grip point, it doesn't speed up the stamina recovery. It's to be like on bare ground. All right, well, we would have had it. We would have had it there. I even did the jump at the first rest point. Not perfectly, but we were able to do it. But yeah, I was not high enough on that second ledge. What a shame. Well, at least I kind of know how to do this part, so kind of work it. This jump is always wacky. It's weird. See, this is why I didn't want to do it when I first finished the game on stream a couple weeks back. Pasta was trying to get me to do it, and I'm like, I don't know. That would have been such a goddamn disaster. Even now, I kind of know what I should be doing, and it's still hard. This isn't like the hardest thing I've ever had to do in a video game, but it's kind of up there. And of course, yes, I'm making it harder on myself because I'm trying to do like these, these exploits. Shit. Now that angle looks a little bit too weird. Camera angle was like kind of like here. Yeah, I don't know if the camera angle has too much of anything to do with it. There we go. But it's, I mean, whatever works for me, that seems to work for me. Kind of having it at a 3/4 upper angle. Because every other time I have the camera swung around somewhere else, it doesn't seem to want to work. Spent a little more time on that than I would have liked. Don't fuck it up this time. All right. I'll try. I'd like to get a good fix on where exactly I need to be at. It's... It's that one. Is that right? I was a little worried because I kind of need to jump to get that done. God, it's starting to beep. Literally just need to get up to this. And there we go. man, and my voice is shot. But we did it. We finally got up here. Someone was asking, why can't you just walk up the ramp or whatever? It's because the doors are closed, so they don't allow you to just get up there that way. Thank you. Cover that stamina even if we don't need to. From this point on, couple things you can do. Not a whole lot. You can either cross the bridge and get to the entry point of the...
Time to assemble.
Thank you, yes. We're all assembling here. You could either run all the way over there, which literally takes 10 minutes. It's not fun. I've done it. I've got a recording of it. I'm satisfied with that. I don't need to do that on stream. But you could run over there. The only thing that's over there in this version of the game is nothing. You get the entrance, and then you get blown back by wind or a mysterious force. GVH, yes. It's so bad. It ain't great. It has its moments, I think. But it ain't great. But yeah, there's not a whole lot over there that I feel needs to be looked at. Apparently in the remake, there's like a coin over there or something. So worth checking out if you do the remake version. You get the coin. I don't know if there's like a trophy or something you can get with the PS3 version. I don't remember. But yeah, at least as far as the original version of the game is concerned, there's nothing over there. They don't even put a lizard over there. So I'm not wasting 10 minutes to run down that and then run back. Not worth it. But we can get to the secret garden up here. That's the big thing. So this is just the point that is in the final cutscene with deer and mono and aggro. You can actually walk all the way around up here. No lizards or anything that like whitetail ones, but there's a couple wildlife. There is this little aqueduct thing, kind of neat. You can hang on this. Unlike Last Guardian or Eco, you can't climb into those, but you can hang on the side of it. Bunch of trees. Unfortunately, there is no deer. The deer does not show up. So, anyone that was expecting that, sorry. There is the giant skylight, which there's even a larger hole above it. So even though we got to the top of what's feasibly able to be gotten to in terms of game mechanics, there is still more of the tower. There's this like little staging area here. Not much here. Yes. We'll do that. I'll do that as the last part. But yeah, there are fruits up here. They're not good though. If you're looking for an additional challenge, you can kind of do that. I don't remember if it gets you a trophy in the PS3 version, but I know on the PS4 version, I did see a trophy for eating one of the first fruits up here. There is this area. Nice little waterfall. You can climb onto these stones. That's pretty cool. It's probably the highest point that you can get to right there. Waterfall. Really wanted to get to that ledge up there, but that's impossible. There's these little pools down here, but not like you can swim down any, so can't really do anything. I would have liked to have seen what's over this ledge, though. There's a video of somebody like climbing up the tower even further. I guess it must be through some sort of hack or mod or something like that. I don't know. But they were like climbing on the exterior of this thing. I don't want to do that. but there are no climbable points. I was going to take the cloth of desperation off because I'm going to need it. But otherwise, that's about it. Not a whole lot. It's still cool that you can get up here. And it was like kind of back in the day a badge of honor. Anybody that could do it, you know, they were the people that were made of the sterner stuff. Anyway, last thing here are the fruits. There are plenty of fruits here. And watch the meters. When you eat it, they decrease your meters. So that's sort of shitty. But once again, if you want to make the game harder on yourself, or you like want to reset or something, I don't know. That's what I've seen people propose it for, like increasing the difficulty. You already did like one of the most difficult things to do in the game, and you want to make it harder by giving yourself no health or anything for Colossus fights. Sure, have at it. But I don't know that there's all that many fruits to actually get that done. Maybe. There's a lot. There's actually a lot. You can see they don't quite have like the orange tinge that the normal ones do. Or at least not bright, I should say. They're kind of cast in shadow up there. I guess maybe they look normal on the ground. Let's take a look. Yeah, they're still kind of cast in shadow. They're still a little orange. I don't know what kind of fruit they look like. What is that? Look like raisins. Like a very shriveled up ball sack. I think as far as like the only animals, I mean, even in the original version at the end cutscene, I think the squirrel and the deer. These nuts. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Suck on them and the life force escapes your body. But yeah, no animals or anything. I don't even know if any birds show up here. I don't know. After working your way up here, I remember when I very first played this game, like before 2011 when the HD remasters had come out. Like this is probably like around 2006 or something like that. People talked about. I remember reading people talking about early days of my internet anyway. People talking about climbing up here, and I'm like, ooh, I wonder what's up there. And, you know, there was just like a lot of speculations and stuff. Not a whole lot of people had done it. So a lot of misinformation and stuff. You know, had I actually been able to do it at the time, I probably would have been disappointed. Again, now it's like kind of like a badge of honor, just because, you know, the ability to do it it's such a pain in the ass. But and now it's like expected of you too. I guess I should say that much, because like you can get trophies and shit for getting up here in the later versions. Although I will say that in the PS4 version, the remake, it looks like they reworked the cloth of desperation a little bit. Like you could manipulate it a little more when you're falling. I think maybe you can use that more to your advantage, and it makes the climb easier. I don't know. Who's this? Is still making Shadow of the Colossus videos? Oh, the Nomad guy? Boy, he's like, what's his nuts? The guy that makes the Doom videos. It's like an endless source of content. What is that guy's name? I should give him a proper name as opposed to what's his nuts. Decino, that guy. Digs all into the files and everything, does a bunch of weird stuff. But that's cool. Again, at the time, there was a lot of mystery and stuff surrounding this game. And a lot of debates about the story and the happenings and, you know, what goes on with it. There's even some areas, I don't think it's accessible through regular means of gameplay, but there's some arenas and stuff for scrapped Colossus that apparently are still somewhat in the game files. There's like a monkey one, there's a phoenix, there's like a dragon or something. And some of the arenas are still intact. I don't think you could get to them by like normal means, but you know, you could definitely dig through the game files or possibly, you know, no clip your way through that kind of stuff. Provided you have like, you know, some sort of game where you could actually do that and explore that little area. Anyway, again, not a whole lot up here. Biggest thing is the fruits, which deduct your stamina and health if you want to decrease that at all. Otherwise, yeah, we're good. Oh, you know what? I don't think we could actually do this. I think the game. I think I tried that before. I forgot I died. Oops. I probably should go to bed. I don't know that I will right now, though. The game doesn't load up the interior from that point. So once you drop, that's it. You're dead. I was kind of hoping I could parachute my way through, but I forget it kills you. One last thing. Make our way over there. And hopefully my USB bus won't trick me into thinking that the audio got muted. Oh man, it's been a long time. I mean, it's been before I started the stream up for the original version of this game, it probably had been, go sleep. I'll go in a minute. It had probably been 10 years, if not a little bit more, since I played these games. I think one of the very first streams I did, when my quote-unquote big-time streaming friend was trying to get me into streaming, one of the first things I did was the Shadow of the Colossus HD remaster on PS3. And that wasn't like too far after the remaster had gotten released. I mean, I think that thing came out in 2011, and I might have streamed that in like 2013 or 2014, something like that. So it wasn't too far off from there. And I had not played these games since then. So going back, and I'm sure it had been almost as long since I played the PS2 version. Not a little more. Just like thinking back to that, like, I'm kind of surprised I remembered as much stuff as I did. I usually have a pretty good visual memory, so like if I remember seeing something, it sticks with me for a while. But still, playing through the majority of this game, there was still a couple of parts. I mean, I was familiar with most of it, but there was still a couple parts where I had to like think about it for a second. Like, what the shit do I need to do here? Even like one of the more obvious things, like breaking the cuff on Colossus 3 by getting him to slam the sword down on the pedestal. It's like even that I forgot about. And then I was drawing a blank when it came to Colossus 16. I had to shoot him in the shoulder. Now that was in the original version. As we saw in the remake, they make it very obvious by putting a giant wound there. So I guess that sort of takes the fun out of it in some regards. But still, that aside, I was able to get through most of this game a little easier than I was expecting. But it was still kind of fun because it was almost like, in some aspects, playing it for the first time over again. Which is kind of why, like, when I really like something, why I don't tend to watch or read or play through over and over and over again. Because it is fun, like, letting it rest for a while and then coming back to it years later. Like, oh, yeah, this part was great. And recalling stuff or forgetting about things and reliving the experience. So getting to stream these games again was a lot of fun. I'm glad I was able to do it. That I was able to beat Eco for the first time. I probably should have beaten it all those years ago. For whatever reason, I just stopped playing it. And Last Guardian was pretty good. I think having sat on it for a while, now that the dust has settled, as they say, I don't think it was as good as the previous two, but I think it was still, it was a good effort. And for as long as that game was in development hell for, probably turned out better than it should have, to be quite honest. So, sort of shocking in those regards, but still, I thought it was a pretty solid game. Now, we're comparing them to, as was brought up in chat, that I think when we finished it, like, you know, Eco and Shadow of the Colossus are close to, if not being genre defining games and like all-time classics. So kind of hard to beat that out, but still pretty good. What we finally gotten to here is the Eco Beach. Oh, look at that. That's weird. You can see the bridge off in the distance. At least I think that's the bridge. It's kind of weird that we could see it from this point, though. Doesn't seem to make too much sense. So that I don't get, but there's something out there. This is the Eco Beach that we were talking about before. This is the exact, seemingly same model as the beach that you wash up on at the end of Eco. I think kind of like around here, I think is where it is. And then you can go behind one of these rocks somewhere, and there's a melon behind it. Pretty sure there's nothing. Should have ground, but didn't load. When we passed up the ocean, I saw it like pop in. There's like some bad pop in here. It's probably like the worst pop in that we've seen in this game. Normally it's been pretty good. And some of the fog has hidden some of the shit, but doesn't seem to be doing it this time around. If there is something, boy, I missed it, because I think I've been here before and I don't remember seeing anything. It didn't load that time either, if there was, I don't know. Get up there. I will say in the remake, it is a lot easier. Aggro is much more responsive for the triangle button, being the button to actually get on him. I find with the original version of this game, I have to use the grip button a lot more to jump and then basically fall onto aggro. What did we do? Maybe it was over here. I don't know. Both like sections of this beach look exactly the same. I'm not seeing a big difference outside of the rocks are slightly bigger. Maybe this is the part where you wash up. I don't know. No, that first part looked a little more familiar. I don't remember like this big spire or anything. I don't know. This was Eco. Yordo probably would be back there somewhere. I took a picture of it and showed it off in the previous stream we did, but there's like some driftwood or something over here in the remake, and then there's a watermelon there. This section doesn't look like it, but the first section does. Regardless, whether it is the same beach or not, this is what people call the Eco Beach, so. I don't know. I don't know if it's like just a visual thing. I don't know why a bunch of wind started coming in there. That was weird. Obviously the surrounding area isn't quite the same. Although I think there's a bit of a camera cut when he goes floating away in that little boat. So we don't know exactly how far it went. Cutscene sort of makes it look like he just comes out of the castle and just like washes up on the beach 2 seconds later, but I don't think that's the case. I think this is the point though, because I remember like that little ridge, sort of back there, and like the boat would probably wash up around here, and then there's that rock there, and then you continue on, and then you come over here, and like Yorda would be like over, kind of in this spot. I don't know. Anyway, that's the beach. There doesn't seem to be anything down here. I didn't think there was, because I'm pretty sure I've walked through here before and never saw anything. But I figure we might as well take a look and kind of see what it looks like. But that's what people call the Eco Beach, because it looks fairly similar to the one at the end of that game. But yeah, that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I really need or want to do. There's no like super secrets or anything that we can do here, outside of doing time attack in the normal mode, which sure as hell I'm not going to do right now. But at least for a good while, I think we are done with Shadow of the Colossus. It's been fun, and I'm glad we were able to go through these games and check them out and finally get a stream recorded of them, because I haven't had one all these years. So, my favorite games, and I never got a recording of this game. Although I do have a couple clips back from like 2013 on Twitch still. It's surprising that they still allow those once they're saved. I think there's one of me fighting like the 7th Colossus or something. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, that'll be it. Thank you guys for watching. It is rather late for some people, including myself. Closing in on 2 a.m. here, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But that is it. So we will be back. Probably not tomorrow. I have not been taking a streaming on Wednesdays since I gotta get up so goddamn early on Thursdays. Routinely now. Sucks. But I might be back Thursday or Friday. We're gonna start something new. I don't know what I'm gonna do first. I've got a strong craving for some flight sim Star Wars games, so I think I'm gonna do Rogue Squadron on N64. Or is it Rogue Leader? I think it's Rogue Leader on that one. And I think I'm going to bounce back and forth between a couple games because I want to start another RPG. So we are going to do Earthbound on SNES. So that should be fun, I think. I just got to make sure that they're still working and that the battery is good for probably both those games. Yeah, they both would take a battery. But yeah, if they are, then we are good to go and we'll be starting up something. It's going to depend on when I start, what, like the time of day I start, which game I'm going to do. If I start rather late, I'm probably going to do Rogue Leader. And if I got a little bit more free time, I'm probably going to do Earthbound. But those are the 2 games I'm looking at doing coming up. So stay tuned. But thank you guys. Always appreciate everyone sticking around, chatting. Good talking with y'all. And hopefully we'll catch you guys on the next one. But until then, take care. Have a good night. See you next time.